synthetic chemicals were invented to give manufacturers new materials.
Plastic. And
like plastic.
Other things we use in our everyday life. Better things for better living through chemistry.
Pesticides like DDT were advertised as miracle chemicals that would eradicate crop pests and mosquitoes. The industry boomed. The secret documents reveal that the risks were known from the beginning. The chemical industry knew much more about its miracle products than it was telling.
The chemical industry has contended that while a few substances pose a real risk to human health when sufficient exposure occurs, the vast majority of chemicals do not pose any substantial threat to health. However, the problem is very little data exists to broadly respond to the public's perception and the charges of our opponents.
That is worth repeating. The problem is very little data exists. In other words, the industry itself acknowledged it could not prove the majority of chemicals safe.
Open wide. In your mouth, not on the floor.
Speaking of seductive, check out the advertising. The Come On to Parents is full of babies and young children looking adorable and oh so vulnerable. It's a parent's job to keep them free from germs. So, say the ads, spray that change table with Lysol, clean that high chair with disinfecting wipes, and don't forget to mop those floors before putting baby down to play.
What about all the laundry detergents and fabric softeners? I think people assume that they're safe. Is there any cause for concern with chemicals in those?
You'd be amazed at the number of chemicals that are used in detergents. They have chemicals to prevent the dirt from sticking back onto the clothing. They've got chemicals to oxidize, and of course you've got the perfumes. You may not be rinsing away all of those chemicals.
What kind of exposure do you need to those chemicals before it's harmful?
We don't really know.
But we know at some level it can be harmful.
That's right.
Do you think that you're providing a safe environment for your children, and then you come to find out that you're buying things not knowing that they can be dangerous?
Our bodies are built to handle chemicals, and our liver breaks them down. However, when we are exposed to so many in small amounts on a daily basis, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, our bodies just can't clear them anymore.
We like having things that are easy in life, and sometimes it's not easy to go to Whole Foods or whatever and find whatever it is you need to find. You want to go to the store on the corner and grab whatever you need real quick.
The average woman applies 12 beauty products to her body every day. 120 chemicals. For men, it's 6 cosmetics and 80 chemicals. And few, including Betty Lee Hansen, think much about what's in them.
No, I don't. Shame on me.
But right now, no one has the authority to help her, not even the government. So here are some of the chemicals advocates say Americans put on their body every day. From formaldehyde, a known carcinogen, and dioxane in some shampoos, to lead on your lips, parabens possibly linked to cancer and deodorant, even mercury in skin lightening creams, toluene known to cause headaches in nail polish, and diethyl phthalate linked to allergies, hormone disruption, and dermatitis in perfume. Europe has banned 1,200 such chemicals, the U.S. only 10. So critics say cosmetic makers mix a riskier brew of the same product for domestic use.
Companies think that their European customers deserve safer products.
There is now a move in Congress to pass a bill regulating cosmetics by summer, requiring labeling all ingredients and prohibiting chemicals linked to cancer or reproductive problems. Cosmetic companies spent $3.5 million lobbying against the bill.
Can I tell you, I love my Pantene Pro V. Of the dozen or so personal care products that I use every day, it's the one I can't live without. It says it gives my dull hair the ultimate cool shine. How does it do that? I was wondering that while I was lathering it in my hair one day, so I read the ingredients right here. Sodium lauryl sulfate, tetrasodium EDTA, methyl isothiazolinone. What is this stuff? I took this list to some scientists who know how to read it. Turns out my Pantene contains a chemical linked to cancer. And lots of other products in my bathroom, from sunscreen to lipstick and even baby shampoo, also contain chemicals linked to cancer or other problems like learning disabilities, asthma, and even damaged sperm. Like most parents, I try to keep my family safe. But now I find out my bathroom is a minefield of toxins? What are we supposed to do? Less than 20% of chemicals in cosmetics have been assessed for safety by the industry's safety panel. So we just don't know what they do to us when we use them. Would you fly on an airline that only inspects 20% of its planes? One thing we do know is that they're getting inside us. I had my body's toxicity levels tested, and I'm loaded with things like mercury, flame retardants, triclosan, and lead. We all are. Even babies are being born pre-polluted. Now, I know we can't live in a lead-free world, but do we have to put lead in our lipstick? I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I just bought the wrong thing. At the store, the choices seem endless. I can get lipstick in 49 shades, or shampoo for hair that's too dry, oily, fine, limp, or frizzy. But what about the choices that really matter? Like the choice to buy products that are safe? This is Procter & Gamble. They're the ones offering me Herbal Essences, the #2 shampoo in the country. It contains toxic petrochemicals made from oil. Since when is oil an herb? On cosmetics labels, words like herbal, natural, even organic have no legal definition. That means that anybody can put anything in a bottle and call it natural, and they do. I mean, can you imagine a top seller called Petro Essences? Gross. Ooh, here's Estee Lauder offering me a chance to help find a cure for breast cancer. That's nice. But wait, they're also using chemicals linked to cancer. Don't you think the best way for Estee Lauder to fight cancer is to stop using those chemicals in the first place?
A lot of people have this idea that we have a government safety net that's making sure that all of the chemicals that are in our homes have been tested. But the important thing to know is that many of them, most of them, have not been tested. And that's true for the paints that you put on your wall, the things that go in your carpets, the things that are in your furniture and maybe in your clothing. So it's very important for you to be on the front lines in making wise choices for your family. It might be volatile organic compounds that are getting into the air and increasing asthma risk. It might be the substances that are used in the paints that are going to make it stay brighter longer. So when you're thinking of hazards in your home, the first thing to think about is that children are different than adults. If something is a carcinogen, if you're exposed to it, on average, the EPA has determined that young kids, it's 10 times more carcinogenic for them on average, and in some cases, 65 times more carcinogenic. So every hazard is magnified or can be magnified for kids. And it makes sense because pound for pound, they eat more than we do, and they drink more than we do, and they breathe more than we do. So they're getting higher doses. And even at the same dose, they don't have a mature immune system to detoxify a lot of these things the way that you and I can. Many of the biggest health challenges of children of our times are on the rise. Things like autism, asthma, ADHD, allergies, childhood cancers, diabetes, and all of them are linked to environmental exposures. Sometimes people object and say that making a greener choice, making a healthier choice in our food or in products around us is too expensive. But the reality is it's an investment in your family's health and well-being and your child's growth and vibrancy. It's expensive not to make these choices. So when you're making choices in your home, from the ground up, there are things to be thinking about. Think about the carpet and the padding underneath. Think about your furniture and the stain protection that's on it. Think about the paint that's on the walls. Think about the cleaning products that you use in your home, the personal care products you put on your body. There's so many simple changes that we can make that do give kids a better chance, that tilt the odds in their favor throughout their lives.